This is Loggers and Loudmouths, Conversations Unfiltered.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Loggers and Loudmouths. We're moving right along, episode 7 already. This week we've got a fun couple of topics for you. One of them may be controversial, I don't know. I mean, we'll kind of hash it out. And then the second one, just plain fun, just good old fun. What are you thinking? I'm sitting here with Ty. What are you thinking? What are we going to drink today, Ty?
Yeah, great question, Cam. So this week we're featuring the BDSM Ale from Crafty Bastard.
Now, wait.
Brewing.
Can you tell me what does BDSM stand for?
I honestly don't know. I know what it means. I don't know what it stands for, though.
I don't either. Now I'm curious.
Hold, please.
BDSM stands for, let's see what Google says, bondage and discipline, dominance and submission, sadism and masochism.
That's a mouthful.
Just so Wikipedia's giving me a definition here. So it is a variety of often erotic practices or role-playing involving bondage, discipline, dominance, and submission.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I know. All right, so I'm curious now, what kind of beer is this?
Yeah, so BDSM Ale by Crafty Bastard Brewing Company. They're out of Knoxville, Tennessee, in downtown. They also have a West Knoxville location, a satellite location. Really cool establishment. It's in like an old warehouse with probably 30 or 40 foot ceilings.
You know what I
crazy.
appreciate about their warehouse?
What's up?
A lot of these newer breweries, they go all fancy, and you got your wood on the wall and these fancy little decor. They have kept it OG. It looks like you could just roll out of the warehouse still today.
It's pretty grassroots. It's like they didn't do anything they didn't need to do. It's a functioning brewery. They got all their own equipment, exposed brick everywhere. It's literally almost like an abandoned warehouse. It looks really cool. It's a cool environment.
It's been around for about 9 years. I want to think about 2015, 2016-ish is when it first started up.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, so the BDSM Ale is a Belgian dark, strong, masterful ale. Strikes notes with fig, raisin, toffee, and caramel before finishing smoothly and crisply. And exactly how directed by the brewmaster.
Of course, because he's, involving. And but just as an FYI, this is 9.6%. So if we get sloppy by the end, it is not our fault.
9.6, 30 IBUs. Let's give it a taste, see how it is.
Ooh, that's good.
It's smooth.
That's super smooth. For 9 point, it doesn't taste 9.6. You definitely get that fig.
I get the fig and the raisin
a lot
for sure.
of fig, yeah.
Yep.
That is good. That's well done. Well done, Crafty Bastard.
Yeah, we're going to be sloshed by the end of this.
Yep,
but...
sorry, guys. Not sorry. You came here for Loggers and Loudmouths. We are drinking loggers.
But yeah, check out Crafty Bastard if you're ever in the Knoxville area. But with that being said, Cam, why don't you kick us off with our serious topic of the day?
I feel like I should have said yes, Daddy, when I drank that beer.
I would like you to address me that throughout the entire podcast,
Done.
if you would.
You got it, Daddy. All right, so today we got a fun one coming up. This our serious topic is it ethical to use genetic engineering to enhance human capabilities, or does it open the door to a future of greater inequality and unintended consequences?
That's a really good topic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say this one's probably one of our more controversial ones I would
for sure.
put out there.
And we live in the Bible Belt, so we might get shot down for this one because a lot of people see this type of technology as playing God.
I knew that was going to come up in this, but
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's define it. What is genetic engineering? So you may also see it called genetic modification, genetic manipulation, but ultimately it is the manipulation of an organism. And in this case, we're referring to humans. We're actually manipulating their genes to transfer some sort of other specific gene into that organism to get some sort of desired trait. And again, this is completely arbitrary example, but let's say you're getting ready to have a baby and you want that baby to have blue eyes. You could theoretically, genetically go in and actually change that. Obviously, this happens a lot already in certain fields. We'll talk a little bit about those as we go throughout, but it's definitely an interesting conversation.
So what's your take on it? What's your opinion?
So just my get it done opinion is I think it's a great thing. It has the potential to do many, many, many positive things in terms of healthcare. If we are, again, kind of going back to my first example, handpicking what our child looks like because we want a 6'5", 215-pound baseball player, that's when it gets a little hairy for me.
I kind of agree with you there. I think it has massive positive implications, especially when it comes to life-altering diseases or, genetic mutations and things like that. I mean, if you're a parent and you're having a baby and you know that's going to happen and you have the ability to change that, I mean, I think every parent wants their kid to be, the healthiest, best person they can be. So if you have the means to do that, I don't see why people wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, and there's tons of inherited conditions out there. You got all kind. Yeah, I mean, you've got things even like something as well. I don't want to downplay it, but something like celiac disease. Celiac is an inherited condition that affects about 1% of the population. If you had celiac as a parent and you knew you could go in and before that baby is born, take out that gene to fix it, why would you not want to?
Yeah, and things like that are going to alter the way that somebody grows up and has experiences as well.
100%.
I mean, celiac disease, there's different degrees of it. It can be from very manageable to very, very serious. But I mean, you're talking about genetic mutations too. If you have a physical disability coming out of the womb, you're going to be a totally different person in regards to life experiences than you would be otherwise.
Agreed.
So I think that's kind of where I think people would say, okay, you're kind of playing God in a way.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though that it seems like a positive thing, it does get a little hairy.
It does get hairy because I mean, are you playing God? I mean, and again, that's up for debate whether or not that is your belief or not. But I mean, there's tons of conditions. You got cystic fibrosis, Huntington's disease, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, sickle cell anemia. All of those are inherited conditions that if I could say, hey, I've got this, can you make sure my kid doesn't? I know people who have not had kids for the simple fact that they did not want to risk passing on something.
Exactly. I think you could almost divide this into two categories. I think one is like, okay, yes, we identified that, this baby is going to have, XYZ condition. We can fix that, do it. And then you got the other side that you kind of talked about before, where if you're essentially building a human and you're like, yeah, I want a superstar athlete, or I want, you're cherry picking
genius, yeah,
right.
Whatever it happens to be.
So I think that's where the controversial aspect comes in. But I kind of take a step back and look at it where you would essentially be making better physical humans.
Which, I mean, we are already evolutionarily evolving quickly. I mean, just think, even look 100 years ago, the average height was 2 or 3 inches smaller. So we are just getting bigger thanks to nutrition mainly and better healthcare. But so we're kind of already doing that naturally. So what's wrong with adding in a little bit of technology to do that?
I can see how it could get out of hand, though.
It could. Right? And again, it kind of goes back to the argument as do the rich only get richer if we allow this? Because obviously this would not be a cheap thing to do. If you're going to go in and completely alter somebody's DNA, somebody's going to make money off of it.
Sure, of course. But are we looking at it from the perspective of, this wouldn't be available for everybody? Or are we kind of looking at it in a hypothetical situation where, if you had the opportunity to do this, would you? Like, let's take the money out of it. Let's just look at it from a kind of...
If it's available and you can do it, would you do it?
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. I would. Yeah.
I think I would too. I don't know.
But again,
here's the thing.
That gets back to like, what are we altering? If we're fixing a medical condition, I think most people, or 99% of people out there, are probably going to agree with us.
And then you could look at, if I want to go one layer deeper here, it's like we were talking about, a child that hasn't been born yet, but you can alter their genes to a desired outcome. But what about us sitting here right now? What if we could alter our genes already, living?
All right, so let me give you an example. I have genetically high cholesterol. Thanks, Dad. Hypercholesterolemia. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I found out about this 5-6 years ago. Just decided I was in my late 20s, time to start getting regular blood work done. I went into my doc. He did my blood work and called me a day or two later. He's like, "Hey, guess what? You got really high cholesterol." I was like, "Thanks." He's like, "I'm going to put you on a statin." I was like, "No." I said, I teach this stuff. I know nutrition. So why don't you give me 6 months to kind of do this? I can do this on my own. And he's like, "Okay, I'll give you 3 months." So we kind of compromised. He gave me 3 months to kind of go in and see if I could really alter my diet, cut out any of the things that would lead to high cholesterol. And went back 3 months later, and lo and behold, it actually went higher. Come to find out, I did not know this at the time. Come to find out, it is genetic. My entire family on my dad's side has hypercholesterolemia. If I could go in and change that right now, would I? 100%.
So obviously, like genetic modification is already kind of a thing with CRISPR and everything like that.
Yep, for sure.
I guess going back to my point I just made, would it even be possible to do that? I mean, I'm not a biologist. I don't know shit about this.
To edit genes?
To edit genes after
birth?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you could go in and you could do it. I mean, it doesn't have to be before birth because I mean, at the end of the day, an organism inside the womb is still living as much as an organism outside the womb.
I mean, that being said, if I had the opportunity to alter some things about myself on a biological level at this point in my life, I'd probably, go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Why not?
Well,
I mean,
all right. So if you could pick one trait of your own that you would change, inability to grow a beard.
Yeah, probably that probably wouldn't be on the top of my list. I would probably do something in regards with cardiovascular conditioning or
Okay.
fuck, what's the word for it?
VO2 max.
No.
something?
I can't think right now. Your ability to burn calories.
Okay, metabolism.
Metabolism, that's
Gotcha.
the word. I don't know why I
Yeah,
couldn't think of
I
it.
bet you a lot of people would pick that because that is a common. It's like I have slow metabolism. We won't get into a science debate today, but your slow metabolism is a product of your lifestyle choices. But that's
I would say, to be fair, we are kind of looking at it as the easy way out too, because it's like I can change. I mean, I can't force myself to grow a beard, but I mean, I can change my lifestyle and probably,
Instagram would say you can make yourself grow a beard. I see those advertisements all the time. That, hey, rub this little stick on your face and you'll grow a beard in 3 weeks.
people are going to take the easy way out, I think, and I think kind of myself included. Like, there's lifestyle changes I can make that could increase my metabolism and make me shed weight and stuff like that. But it's like,
if I
man,
can make it easy, then
Yeah,
why
I know.
not? I'm trying to think, what would mine be? I recently had PRK, which is just kind of a version of LASIK. Prior to that, I would have probably changed my eyes because it's not fun not being able to see. Now I can see, though. Thanks, money.
thanks, money.
Money's what gets you that. Let's see.
Maybe knock your narcissism down a couple notches.
I don't know if we want to do that.
I think that's what makes this interesting.
I was going to say, we don't want to do that.
That's another point I wanted to bring up too. Is say this is a readily available thing and everybody starts doing it. It's like, are we going to be making another class of human being based off this?
That's true. Are we going all Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean,
you
obviously
said-
he's a robot, but
Because you mentioned inequality in the initial topic, so it's like, obviously not everybody is going to do this. I think even if they had the means, there's some people that are going to say, I don't want to play God.
Yep.
I am who I am. My child is who my child is. We're going to roll with this. But is that going to subdivide, the country or the world even further than it already is? And if we're making kind of, genetically modified humans or superhumans or anything like that, it's like, are we making a different like subset of the human race where, you have all these advanced people, and would anybody who didn't do it be at a disadvantage?
yeah. So again, we're taking money out of the equation. So this is an equal opportunity thing.
Sure, for the sake of argument.
For the sake of argument, yeah. I mean, obviously, if this did become a thing, I don't think that money would be taken out of the equation. I think money
Hell
would
no.
be a big component. So the rich would only get richer. So again, I agree. That would certainly exacerbate the inequality issue. Are we creating a separate race? No, because
I'm not saying a separate race, but like a subset of
subpopulation.
human.
Yeah.
It's like, because people love putting labels on stuff. So and for
So
lack of
I could walk down the street and I could pick out that guy has been genetically engineered.
right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, to each their own. I'm a free will kind of person. If you want to try things, then
That's kind of where I'm at too. I think if you want to do it, you should be able to do it. But I also can see how the road to hell is paved with good intentions and how it could get out of hand, especially from I know we said we're taking money out of it, but realistically, it wouldn't be. It would be driven by money for sure.
yeah, 100%. And I mean, there's also potentially unintended consequences. I mean, we're manipulating genes here. Once you start manipulating genes, who knows what the potential long-term complications there could be?
Right. And, what happens, you manipulate the genes of somebody and then they have a kid. And do those genes get passed down the same way? Is there,
Does it make you sterile? I mean, who
Right,
knows?
right.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long this has been around for. I think it's been toyed around with for a little bit now, but I think we're still in the, infancy phase to a degree. Maybe getting, a little bit out of the infancy phase. But like you said, we don't know really what's going on here.
No, so let me talk about some potential examples of genetic engineering that have been successful up to this point. And this is going to get a little bit away from the human aspect, but I think it's important because they kind of play off of each other. So we obviously, anybody who has heard of a GMO, genetically modified organism, crops. So we have lots of crops out there. And I'll just give you one example because we may bring this back for a discussion in a couple weeks. But golden rice. So golden rice was engineered to produce beta carotene, which is a precursor of vitamin A, which in certain populations, specifically Asian populations, they found they had a significant deficiency in vitamin A. So they started genetically modifying golden rice to have more of this beta carotene. Lo and behold, the incidence of vitamin A deficiency in that population significantly decreased. I don't see anything negative about it. That's 100% positive, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's an example of using technology to solve a realistic problem in a pretty efficient way.
Yep. All right, so let's keep it on humans then. So there was another gene therapy, an actual FDA-approved one called Luxturna. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is an FDA-approved gene therapy for a rare form of inherited blindness caused by a mutation on the RPE65 gene.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, everybody knows that one,
Yeah.
right? We have over 20,000 genes for people who know anything about genes. So yeah, we all know the RPE65.
Right. That's my favorite gene.
Yeah, of course, because you're not blind. But if you were blind, that would not be your favorite gene. So this Luxturna, this FDA-approved gene therapy, has allowed people to see.
And that's, again, another example of how, therapeutics and gene therapy have, helped somebody who is, in a less than advantageous situation in a certain aspect of their life.
Yep, for sure. What about fertility? We could, obviously, we have lots of issues with fertility in our country.
So what are you saying? Like genetically?
Like if we could genetically reduce the incidence of people who have fertility issues, because some of it is linked back to genetics.
And that's a huge market in the medical industry too, because there are options at this point for people to get fertility treatment, but that shit ain't cheap either.
Yeah, there's actually kind of one out there that's already discussed and kind of talked about with fertility. It's called the mitochondrial replacement therapy. Basically, they're going to replace a defective mitochondria. And if you know what the mitochondria is, just think back to your middle school science class, the powerhouse of the cell, which you can't say that. It's the site of cellular respiration. You guys are all smarter now. But so what happens in this mitochondrial replacement therapy is they replace the defective mitochondria in a woman's egg with healthy mitochondria. This helps to prevent the transmission of potential mitochondrial diseases to their offspring. And again, it's out there. It's being used.
Going back on kind of fertility, not fertility, but sex. I mean, you can genetically modify sexually transmitted diseases out of there,
sure.
reduce that. That'd be huge, not just in America, but worldwide as well.
All right, so this is just a shameless plug for science right here. But I saw yesterday, we were talking about sex, and it made me think about STDs. Yesterday, no, I don't have an STD. Sorry, Tiff, no STDs. Or not sorry, I guess. But I saw a stat yesterday that girls under the age of 14 who have received the HPV vaccine have practically eliminated cervical cancer.
That's wild.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a daughter under the age of 14, get that HPV vaccine.
I don't know. What else? What else we got on this one, you think?
All right. So, let's just make it a little fun, just for the sake of fun. If you could create your own super offspring, what would it look like?
Ooh, I never thought about this.
I didn't either until just now. So let's see what we come up with.
Well, I don't want kids, so
fair. But if you could,
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would want to cherry pick traits, so to speak. Like I wouldn't want to custom build a human.
I'm making you do that.
I know, but I think what I would do is, oh God, I don't know. I never thought about this before.
No, me either until just now.
I don't know. I would probably just want to build a healthy individual, like an all-around healthy.
Just no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, no.
Good eyes, good digestive system, good everything from top to bottom.
Right, and it's like
not superior, just good, healthy.
Yeah, and it's like physical features. I could care less.
Yeah.
It's because at the end of the day, I think if you were doing that, you still want your kid to develop in a natural-ish way in regards to their environment and how they, grow up to be a, adult and a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want to try to influence that through genetic modification, but I would want to genetically modify any kind of like hurdle out of that, diseases or health issues or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would just want to build a solid, healthy human and then have them grow up in their environment as any other, kid would.
Okay, that's fair.
What
That's
about
fair.
you? You got to go like straight up like Captain America shit?
Captain America. I mean, that would be pretty cool if my son was Captain America. Again, obviously super healthy. I wouldn't mind him being a couple inches taller than I am. I'm about 5'11", maybe give him about 6'1". I mean, I like fitness, so give him a good physique. He's already adorable blue eyes, so I can't take that away from him. Again, making sure he doesn't have my genetic hypercholesterolemia now, that'd be worthwhile. Moderately intelligent. I don't know. Intelligence. Would you want to modify intelligence, or is
Yes.
that something that?
No, I actually thought about this after we talked about what trait you would want to change about yourself.
Yeah.
If I was going to change something, I would want like super brain.
What do you mean by super brain?
Just the ability
To think like a guy, like your Bill Gates, your Elon Musk, your guys out there that have innovated.
right, like very intelligent at a very technical level.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
And obviously, that's something that people could work on,
Of course,
in their day-to-day
but
life.
there is a limit. There is
Sure.
a genetic limit to intelligence.
Right.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, yeah, you can read all the books in the world, but that's not going to necessarily give you that Bill Gates brain, that Elon Musk brain.
And I think I'm relatively intelligent, but like little steroid for the brain,
Yeah.
like bump it up a little bit.
Maybe.
I don't think that would-
It's our $1 billion idea. We're
Yeah.
going to start making steroids for brains.
Right behind the bar here.
Don't ask where it comes from. Don't ask what it has in it, guys. Just take it. You will get smarter. All right. So I think we've kind of debated this one. Share your thoughts, guys. Again, we're open to any interpretation. Genetic modifying. We'll talk about. I think we're going to bring back GMOs with a friend in a couple of weeks, so we're not going to get too much into that today. But are you okay with genetic engineering? Was that something you would be comfortable with if you had the ability and finances? Funding was not a concern. Would you change something about yourself, your potential offspring, anything along those lines? Share with us. We'd love to hear your opinions. So what are we talking about fun today?
Yeah, fun topic. I really like this one. I put some thought into it. So, if money was no option and you could do whatever you want, what would your dream 3-car garage be?
All right, so here's how I want to take this. So I don't want you to give me all three at once. Let's go back and forth.
Okay. Do you want to? I wanted to start from like least ridiculous to most ridiculous.
Done. Okay,
Okay.
I like that idea.
So hit me with your first one.
My least ridiculous is a 1960 to about somewhere in this year. I didn't get a specific year, but Jeep Wagoneer. I love the old Wagoners. These new Wagoners are absolute shit. Get rid of those things, Jeep. But the old Wagoners where you have like the wood paneling on the side,
Yeah.
absolutely. I want it fully remodeled. I don't want a crap engine or anything. I want it nice and fully remodeled, new paint job, looking kind of OG stock. But yeah, that would be I think my first, and I can probably get one of those realistically. I think remodeled probably between 30 and 50K.
Yeah. Go ahead and sell that Jaguar. You could get it right now.
I could, but
All right. My first car, I'm going practical. I want a good, reliable daily driver. I wanted a newer model Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro.
see, and when I was talking about this with Tiff yesterday, I said, "Oh, I just want a good truck. I need a good truck." And she's like, "No, this is your dream garage. You can't go practical."
No, because even if I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't want to be bothered with it or, worried about maintenance and stuff like that. I mean, the Toyota.
Sure, you don't want $1 million car if you're just going to the grocery store.
Right. So it's like, it's big enough where you can haul your friends around. It's not massive. It's reliable as hell. You could do some light to moderate towing with it. I think
Yep.
it'd be a good all around just daily driver vehicle to, get through life with.
Now, what are those running for these days? Do you have any idea?
Oh, the TRDs, I don't know. They're probably pushing 50.
All right,
50,
so your
55.
Toyota's getting on its last leg, so maybe there you go. You could actually have one of your dream cars.
I could. I don't know if I'd go with the Pro, though. I'd probably go with the lower model,
base model?
for
Nah,
now.
come on.
But I know.
You're young. You're not going to have any kids. Might as well get the Pro, baby.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
All right, good. I'm glad
Cool.
we talked you
All
into
right.
it. All right.
Hit me with number 2.
Number 2, kind of similar, not quite the same style, but similar-ish style, is I love those, those safari type kind of Land Rover Defenders.
Yep.
Yeah, those are amazing. Obviously, I would want a nice one. I don't want one that's been beaten, actually taken on a safari, although that would be amazing. I want a nice safari Land Rover Defender. I think the D110 is kind of the standard model that you can see out there. Nice custom built, got all the bells and whistles. From what I've seen online, you can get one of those from nice custom built one between 150 and 200K kind of price-ish.
Yeah, you're getting up there in price now.
Yeah. Oh, wait until you hear my last one. So yeah, I just like the look of them. They just look cool. I think it'd be fun to drive. They're definitely going to turn heads when you're driving down the road. So it'd be fun. And I could take it on a safari.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's like your old Jeep, but on
My old
steroids.
Jeep that you stole from me.
I paid you fair market value.
A little bit under, but that's okay. That's a debate for another day.
All right. Number 2 for me, getting a little bit more ridiculous. I would want a 2023 Audi R8 V10.
You and Tiff. My wife also wants that Audi R8.
So
what is it about that Audi R8?
So I like it because it's a little bit ridiculous, but it's not over the top in regards to styling.
That's fair.
It's got the V10 engine from the Lamborghinis, but it's in kind of a more classy looking package. The ride style or the ride quality is a bit better. I feel like it's a more comfortable car, but you still have that V10 power to, get up and go.
That's fair.
They're running about, according to the internet, $158,000, somewhere in there. So
still realistic if you do good for the next 5-10 years. Maybe you could get one.
Yeah, the thing with this is probably would be the least reliable out of the 3 I'm picking.
100%.
So even if I had all the money in the world,
Probably wouldn't do it.
Not really, because I don't want to go to the dealership and get all the work done and the maintenance. It's just I want something.
If you got the money, you're not going to the dealership. You're sending your guy to go to the dealership.
I guess so. My driver.
Your driver. All right, so I just want to call out my wife here. You want to know why she loves that car?
Why?
Any guesses? It has something to do with our beer.
Whose beer?
The beer we're currently drinking, BDSM.
Was it in some like
you're getting there,
like some sex movie or something
50
like that?
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't remember which one it was. It's maybe the second or third one. There was a 50 Shades of Grey scene where Dakota Johnson, I forget her name of her character in the movie, but she was driving it, and I think that's kind of what turned Tiff onto it.
So I have the complete opposite reaction for why I like the Audi R8.
Why is that?
So I jumped into the Audi R8 in I can't remember if it was Iron Man 1 or 2, but Tony Stark, the businessman, he had that Audi R8 in the business suit, and he just pulled up like a boss.
So it makes you feel like a badass.
Yeah, like it's a badass car, but it's classy, I'd say, to a degree.
Okay.
It's not like aggressively styled like a Lamborghini or anything like that. So, I mean, it'll turn heads, but I don't think it'll draw as much attention as something a little more ridiculous.
Okay, that's fair.
But
and that's a good segue into my last one. Because
right,
my last one is, you may not have even heard of this one. I didn't hear about it until I started researching, but once I saw it, I was like, I am in love with this thing. It is the Aston Martin 177. Look at this thing. Check it out right here.
Yeah, I was just pulling it up on my computer. Damn.
Now, admittedly, it looks, and I'm not saying that I'm rich, guys. I'm not. Admittedly, it's kind of got similar styling to my Jaguar. I do have a Jag F-Type, and it's got similar styling. You know what I really like about it?
What's that?
It's kind of like I like my women. It's got a nice curvy back end. See that? You got some good curves.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's not over the top. It's not like a Lamborghini over the top. It's got good styling. So I'd feel sophisticated driving it. But I wouldn't feel like a total douche, because unless you know what this car is, you're not going to think it costs between $1.5 and $2 million.
Yeah, it's very well styled, but it's definitely not crazy over the top.
No, and that's what I liked about it. I'm not a super flashy guy. Like a Lambo, too flashy for me. I looked at him and was like, that's just too much.
That roof line is so low.
It is low, but like I said, I got the Jag, so that doesn't bother me.
When I first saw this image, it did remind me of the Jag.
It did a lot, and maybe that's why I like it.
It's very similar styling.
It's got
to a
that
degree.
big old curvy back end, just like I like my women.
That grill's ridiculous.
It is. It's nice. So yeah, but it's called the Aston Martin 1 of 77 because guess what? There are only 77 of them. So the odds of me having this in my life are 0% chance.
See, I went back. You mentioned limited number runs, and I was looking at the Audi R8 GT, which is like
the high end,
30
the extra,
and the Audi R8's being discontinued or at least revamped. So this is like the last production run of it. So they did a crazy version that was they made 333 of them, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want that because I'd be scared to drive it.
That's true. Like this has only got 1 of 77. That's why it costs between $1.5 million and $2 million. But again, we said dream car.
Yeah.
And this thing is ridiculous. I mean, it's got 6-speed manual transmission. It's got a top speed of over 220 miles an hour, so I'm probably dead the first time I drive it, but that's okay. At least I got to drive it. But I do like manual transmission. Once you learn to drive manual and you drive them, they're just fun. It's just something about it. You feel more connected to a car.
Yes, it's very engaging, and you feel more connected to a mechanical device.
Yeah,
and it's really
100%.
cool. I do like manuals as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's your last one? Give it to me.
My third one. Little off the wall,
All
but
right.
I wanted my third car to be violently American.
Good.
So you can't just go out and buy this. You have to build it.
All right.
But I would love to obtain a retired NASCAR Truck Series truck, convert it over street legal with, the lights and the turn signals and, everything that needs to be street legal.
Now, are there any of these like out right now?
Oh, 100%.
Are there? Okay.
Yeah, people have done it before.
Okay.
So it has been done. So make it all street legal, put a super cool wrap on it. I'd wrap it like I don't know. I don't know what I'd wrap it like, but it would look like a race car,
I think
right?
you go Barbie pink.
Yeah, oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But so you get it all done like that. I want to put a 632 Chevy big block in it, which
Okay.
is their highest end crate motor.
Maybe he's going to get up and go.
1,004 horsepower at the crank. So you're looking probably with the drivetrain loss at 15%, maybe 850 to the rear
He's put a
wheels.
little time into this one.
Yeah, I would love to do it. And honestly, it's probably cheaper than a couple of my other cars.
Yeah, because you're just building it. So once you get the base, you could probably find the base for 20, 30 grand.
I mean,
maybe.
the engine's going to cost me 30 grand.
Yeah.
And the
So
train.
I think you could be in it for 100 grand.
Oh, you could definitely get it done for that, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe probably less than that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that'd be ridiculous.
That would be fun.
I would.
Now, are you getting like your wrap? Are you going like, I want to look like a NASCAR driver on the road, or are you going to go like more just like one color, two tones?
Oh no, I would wrap it exactly like a NASCAR. I'd
Okay,
have
so you're going to have Dale Earnhardt numbers 3 on there, kind of
something
thing.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, this is what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't mimic an existing like car scheme.
Gotcha.
I would design my own NASCAR paint scheme, quote unquote, and wrap it like that.
That's fair.
So I just think it'd be really cool. It'd be a burnout machine. I mean, you'd be an asshole driving around in it because you wouldn't be able to hear anything.
Yeah, I'm driving an Aston Martin. I'm already an asshole, so let's.
But it's like I want the window net. You're climbing in and out of the window, like the
So
whole.
you put this one as your least likely. Why? That's not, or is it just
Not
more,
least likely, most ridiculous.
All right, I don't think it's that ridiculous. I mean, less than 100 grand, you could be on the road. That doesn't sound too terribly ridiculous.
I didn't come at it from ridiculous
From a money standpoint.
monetary.
Yeah,
I came from it from a what the fuck is that?
Yeah, you're driving down the road and somebody sees you and they look like, oh hell, what is this guy doing?
And you get pulled over immediately.
Oh, I mean, of course,
I'd
but it's
have-
probably just to get your autograph.
Maybe.
I hope.
But no, I'd go full redneck if I'm driving it, man. You put the open face helmet on.
So every time you're at the gas station, you're going to do a burnout coming into the road.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so you're going to put the slick tires in the back
Yeah.
and whatnot. Okay,
But I think that'd be so fun to just play around in.
that would be fun.
Put a passenger seat in it too, so you can bring your friends along, and it'd be a party, I think.
Okay, all right, I like it. That's a good choice. So I've got the Jeep Wagoneer, the Safari Defender Land Rover, and the Aston Martin 177. All total, I'm looking at about $2 million. So if anybody's got a loaner out there, they can loan me a
Pocket
few dollars.
change.
Yeah, maybe we can get these going, and I'm gonna need a bigger garage.
So yeah, let's say 50 to 60, and then 150, and then maybe 75. So I don't know. I'm probably looking at 250,000.
That's only one of my cars.
I
You're
know.
doing good.
Yeah.
I went all out here. Okay. All right. So let's see. How do we want to finish this here? If you could, any dream car. All right. So if you could have, just kind of throwing this out there, any dream vehicle, mode of transportation.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think I would still. Oh no, I changed my mind. I would want one of those the cigarette boats that they have
Nice.
down in Florida.
That go like 250 miles an hour.
Yeah, something I could really kill myself with.
I would be absolutely terrified.
Oh man, you're strapped to a rocket ship.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. You're just strapped to a rocket ship, just going as fast as you can. I think I would, if I could pick any mode of transportation, if I could get I'm all about speed. I hate driving. I don't like road trips. Give me a helicopter.
A helicopter.
Helicopter. And that's feasible. I could take helicopter flying lessons, I guess.
Actually, I want to change my answer.
All right.
F-35 Raptor.
F-35 Raptor? The truck?
No, the frickin' military jet.
Okay. I thought you were talking about like a Ford Raptor. Okay, the military jet. Gotcha.
No,
okay.
no.
All right, yeah, I mean, that is a hell of a mode of transportation. That's going to get you wherever you want real fast.
I think that'd be cool.
I could also do it like a luxury bullet train, like where somebody's pampering me while I'm just getting where I'm getting quick.
That would be cool.
You just get to sit back, have a beer while somebody drives you on a bullet train real fast. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of those over in the eastern part of the world.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be cool. We don't really have those here.
No. That would be cool if we did.
Oh, yeah.
I would be all for it. Listen, like I said, I want to get to where I'm getting as fast as I can. All right, why don't you wrap us up here?
Yep. I think we covered everything pretty well.
Yeah.
Be sure to tune in the next couple of weeks. We may be having a guest or two coming on the podcast. We're going to mix things up a little bit, kind of get a different perspective from some other people in our lives. So be sure to check that out. Until then, thanks for tuning in to episode 7, guys. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to send us an email. We haven't gotten any emails yet. loggersandloudmouths@gmail.com.
What is your dream car? Tell us what it is.
And even if you want to tell us we're a bunch of idiots, we'll read that feedback too.
I appreciate that kind of feedback because it's truthful.
Yeah, we haven't gotten much feedback. So send us a message, see what's up, and take it easy, guys. We appreciate you listening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you for tuning in to Loggers and Loudmouths. Be sure to never miss an episode by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast streaming service. If you would like to provide feedback or suggest a topic for a future episode, please reach out to us at loggersandloudmouths@gmail.com.